and we needed more tools. By establishing the mayor's office to combat anti-Semitism, our administration is taking immediate and concrete steps to address anti-Semitism at every level of city life. Under the leadership of Mayor Adams, our modern-day Maccabee, this office will be a sledgehammer, deliberate, coordinated, and unapologetic. Later this week, the Jewish community will be celebrating the legacy of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. And he teaches a very relevant parable. The parable goes that there are two people sitting on a boat. One of them takes out a drill and starts to drill beneath his seat. The others look at him and say, "What are you doing?" He says, "It's my seat." And they turn to him and say, "Yes. When the water comes up, it's going to drown all of us." As New Yorkers, we cannot let the loud voices of Jew hatred drill a hole in our city. We're all in the same boat. This isn't a Jewish issue. This is a New York issue. My great-grandmother immigrated here. My grandmother and mother grew up here. And for my own kids over here, I'm raising in New York City. This has always been a place we can live as proud Jews. A place where I can walk in the street with a yarmulke on my head. It's our job to keep it that way. Thank you.
In your city that is overwhelmingly being targeted merely because of their religious or way of life. And I was extremely proud years ago when we saw what happened with the Floyd case. And people of color and goodwill America stood up. And the term BLM was born, and there was an immediate response. And proud throughout my time, not only as an elected but law enforcement, to stand by side by side, to march and walk and speak with people of the AAPI community when there was hate and attack and assault, particularly during COVID-19. And proud to stand with LGBTQ plus communities as we fought for important issues like marriage and gender. The long record of saying in this city, hate has no place, and you cannot allow specific groups to be targeted and go on as business as usual. That is why today we are opening an office ending anti-Semitism in this city. And I'm proud of First Deputy Mayor when we sat down and talked about what can we do, how do we both have a symbolic gesture, but most importantly, a substantive gesture. That's the role of mayor. There must be substance behind what we are accomplishing and what we are doing. And this office is extremely important. When you look at the first quarter of 2025, hate crime numbers among anti-Semitism rose to 62% of those who are dealing with any form of hate in the city. In 2024, the ADL reported a record number of anti-Semitic incidents across the country, including the highest number in New York State. The numbers are clear, and the moment calls on clarity. It calls on strong, decisive leadership. And when you look at this office, the mayor's office to combat anti-Semitism that we're announcing today, in establishing this office to have a head-on approach and make sure that we send a very clear message that in this city, anti-Semitism cannot live, and most importantly, it cannot grow. It cannot grow on our college campuses, it cannot grow in the schools, it cannot grow in our work environment. And this office dedicated to fighting anti-Semitism is for all New Yorkers and is dealing with all forms of anti-Semitism. This is the first office of its kind established in a major city in America. And let's be honest with ourselves, it's not a Jewish issue. It is all of our issue, as in any hate on a group is an issue that we all should address. It's an attack on the very idea of New York City and what we stand for, a place where people can live side by side in harmony, regardless of race, religion, and personal beliefs. And I want to be clear, this administration will not remain silent while our Jewish brothers and sisters are targeted with hate. They would not have to hesitate to enter the subway system should they take off their yarmulke. They should not worry about wearing the Star of David. They should not be worried that someone is lurking at a synagogue, hoping to harm them in any way. They should not have to worry about entering the campus of their schools where their children are educated and worry about being harassed or harmed. That's not the New York that I want to be the mayor over, and that's not the New York that we want to live in. The mayor's office to combat anti-Semitism will establish an interagency task force to coordinate across city agencies, contractors, and funding recipients, and monitor court cases and outcomes of all levels of the justice system, having liaisons with New York City Law Department of appropriate cases to bring or join. And the office will have the authority to ensure city-funded entities do not promote anti-Semitism. It will be led by Moshe Davis as an inaugural director, who currently serves as senior liaison for Jewish affairs in our community affairs unit. His dedicated, tireless effort of building bridges for all groups in general, specifically of weeding out anti-Semitism, makes him the right man for the right time to do the right job, to put us on the right course. He's a tireless advocate on behalf of Jewish New Yorkers, and this is the moment where he can lead this effort. And I'm proud to be the mayor of 960,000 Jewish residents who call New York City home, and as I've stated over and over again, the largest Jewish population outside of Israel. Not only that, we are a city where the greatest number of Holocaust survivors live in New York City. In 2023, when I visited Yad Vashem, you saw the devastation, the impact, and how families will always hold that pain that came from it. And when I went to Krakow in Poland, visited the camps, and saw